I have something tiny, and it is marvelous. If you know what I'm talking about, or if you don't and you want to find out, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and I am so excited because I got to pick this up today from the post office. And it is a package that I have been drooling over since I purchased it. And I will not make you wait. As I was waiting to open up this box, let's just dig right in. I have not even checked if the product is okay. I wanted to open up this box right along with you. So all I did was I cut the tape, but we are now ready to open up the box. We've got a lot of tissue paper and more tissue paper. Okay, so it is really packaged very, very well. And here is the goodies inside. Okay, so I've gotten rid of all the bubble wrap, and this is the tiny little package in the big box. It is Mel Thompson's collab with Sydney Grace. And I am over the moon about receiving this palette. Now, I did order it. I didn't get it in PR or anything. I'm just a tiny little channel. But it is the first time that I have hopped on and picked up a collab the moment it was available. I had my timer set, although I was wrong about Pacific time, and I was 2 hours early to order it. Oy. Anyway, I did pick it up, and it did show up at the post office yesterday, and I just could not make my way there. And let's just open the box. And so I had to wait till today. If I can open up the box, there we go. And we will take a look at this beautiful palette. Now, apparently, the palette, the front of the palette and the front of the box, and the back of the palette and the back of the box are identical, and they certainly do look like they are. And it is a glossy front, which means you see the ring light. So look at this artwork. And then on the back, look at the size font for the ingredients in the palette. No question, everybody can read that. That's great. And of course, what is super important about the palette is what is inside. So let's take a look. And there is a plastic protector, as there usually is, in a palette. And there is a pretty sizable mirror. And I will take the plastic off the mirror. It's always fun to do that with you. Always so satisfying. And then the all-important contents, which is the why and the reason we buy a palette, is the inside shadows. And I saw this color story, and Sydney Grace has been a brand of eyeshadow that I have been wanting for a while now, and the ability to get the Tiny Marvels palette and try Sydney Grace at the same time. So get something from Mel and get something from Sydney Grace at the same time was just irresistible to me, which is probably why I went and got it right away. And so, of course, I am super, super excited about the palette, which means that I am going to swatch this palette right away. I'm rolling up my sleeves as I'm talking with you because I have to play. I have to play with these. Okay, just a little bit of kick up from transport, which is not a problem. There's no issue. There are no scratches, nothing with any of these shadows. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that I am going to go, because it is 5 wide and 3 down, I think I'm going to treat it as columns of color. So I'm going to do all of this in columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm happy to keep this column last because it is one of the columns I am most excited about, and so it's going to be a crescendo of anticipation. And because it is 15 shadows, I am going to divide the palette in two, and I think I'm going to do the first 3 columns on one arm and the other 2 columns on the other arm. And the reason I'm going to do that is just because I want to give a lot of room to the swatches and not overcrowd my arm. I like to have space between the swatches, and if you watch my Norvina one swatching fest, it was rough. I'll put it right there. I never know what shadows are going to be like, and that was my messiest swatching experience ever, and I don't see why I would overcrowd one arm. So anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's get to swatching because I'm very, very excited. And if you're not familiar with Mel Thompson, she is very big into bugs, tiny marbles, right? And so all of the contents of this palette is bug themed, if you will. So we are going to start with the first column. And we have Web. Hopefully you can see the colors. Web, Flutterby, and something bee, Jewel Bee? Yeah, Jewel Bee. Okay, and Jewel Bee, I love that purple. I have a purple look today. I really enjoy purples. So we're going to swatch. I started swatching, so I'm going to swatch Web, Flutterby. Oh, Flutterby is so smooth. I love smooth mattes. I was talking to my husband about the importance of how smooth a matte is. And that's from having swatched the Melt palette just recently. I don't know if it's up yet, but it will be. It is up, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, these are the 3 to start. Web. That's a nice shiny white. Flutterby. I've already forgotten the third name. Jewel Bee. Oh, that's a very, very lilac color, huh? It's a pastel for sure. And the fingers. Okay, let's do a second swatch of those first 3. Okay, here we go. Web. Flutterby. I said I wouldn't crowd the swatches, right? Just watch me go here. Jeez. And Jewel Bee. Jewel Bee did not swatch as well as the other 2. I think I'm going to go in just one more time to get as much as I can. It is pastel that has some kind of, not shimmer, but it's not luminosity, but some kind of glow to it. I don't know, it's very pastel when I pick it up, but it gets a bit more glowy on my finger. So I wonder what it's going to be exactly on the eye. But that is as far as I'm going to get with that Jewel Bee. And that's okay. It works. Okay, so do you see what I mean though? The shininess on the finger? My fingers are dry, but I hope you can see the shininess of it. Okay, so for the second column, we have Tree Hopper, BB, and Marvel, I think? Marvel? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do these 3 next, and who does not want to see this one swatched? And I'm pretty sure this one is gorgeous too. All right, let's take a look. So Tree Hopper is a nice basic matte, which we do need in a palette. BB is this gorgeous gold. I'm hoping it is it is as intense on the finger as it is in the pan. And then Marvel is just a beautiful, beautiful basic color. Okay. So here we go. Tree Hopper. That is a very nice matte. BB, which I'm so excited about. Oh, that makes me think of the gold in the Violet Voss Like a Boss palette. That is beautiful. And then Marvel. You know I like color when I remember it from a palette I haven't used in a while. I don't know why I haven't used it in a while, but I haven't. Those two are very, very punchy. Wow, okay. Very nice. Look at those fingers. Liquid gold and bronze. Lovely. I am enjoying swatching the Sydney Grace formula, let me tell you. Those mattes, they're very good. Just by feel, you know they're so finely milled. Love that. And for a matte, I want a matte to spread evenly on the skin and to be as sheer as I want it to be, or as bold and intense as I want it to be. And for that, you really need a finely milled matte, in my opinion anyway. That's what I found works for me. So that was again Tree Hopper. Then we have BB and Marvel. Did those last two really need a second swatch? No, but I am having fun doing it anyway. Okay, and here are the fingers again. That's beautiful, just beautiful. And here is the third column that I am going to be swatching on the right arm. We have Fire Butts, Mantis, which I really, really want to swatch. It is probably my favorite color in the palette, and Death Moth. And Death Moth has a story, and I will tell you as I'm swatching these. So this palette, probably part of what got me so excited was Death Moth. And the reason is that my gym, I do run a gym, I'm a kinesiologist. The logo for my gym is the Death's Head Moth. And if you've ever watched Silence of the Lambs, they talk about that particular insect in the movie. And when I saw that Death Moth was one of the shadows, and I have that affinity to the Death's Head Moth, and that is the gym logo, which I'll put right here so you can see the logo. I just knew that this palette needed to be somewhere close to me and that I would be using it. So let's get back to swatching. Fire Butts. I said I would tell the story as I was swatching, right? No, wasn't gonna do that. Just had to concentrate on one or another, but there's Fire Butts. And that is a beautiful color. That is right up my alley. Oh. And next is Mantis, which I said I was really excited about. Oh, yes. Oh, it's not quite a mint green, and it's not quite to grunge. It's a beautiful middle of the road between the two. And then the last one, which we just talked about, is Death Moth. Okay. I'm going to re-swatch, but I really don't know why I'm going to re-swatch this one. These three really did not need any help, but I will still re-swatch them because I'm going to be consistent and do the same for every single shadow. Okay, so here we go. Second swatch for all of these. I really love Fire Butts. Oh, it's beautiful. I almost wish I did not have eyeshadow on my eyes today because I really want to play with this palette, but I did not want to wait to give you the swatches. So I'm going to add a little bit of Death Moth on the bottom here because I ran out of product. Okay, there we go. So that is the first three columns. And I have to say, what has me the most excited is from here to here. Although I do really like the idea of Jewel Bee, it just didn't really, I don't know, it's just not showing up as much as I'd like in the swatches. So let's get into swatching the other two columns on the other arm. Okay, we are now going to swatch on this arm, the last two columns in this palette. So let's take a look. We have Walking Stick, Meadowhawk, I really like this type of a shadow, and Bugaboo, which I think is a great name, Bugaboo. And the color of Bugaboo is beautiful as well. So I am pretty sure I'm going to like that column quite a bit. And we are going to go with the other hand. So swatching walking stick, Meadowhawk, which makes me think of Sissy from the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's a pretty common color, the kind of pinky peach, duochrome, and then finally Bugaboo. And I love that kind of a color. So that is a very nice trio. So let's get it going. Walking stick, Meadowhawk. Yeah, I just knew I would like that color, no question. And then Bugaboo. Those three would look really good together in a look. What do you think? Okay, so here are the fingers. Look at the middle finger. Holy cow. Yep. I have to say, this is probably the nicest one of these that I've swatched. It's neck and neck with a similar color from Clionadh Cosmetics. They're really nice, yeah. Really nice. Okay, so here are the fingers. We're going for a second swatch. Walking stick. Very nice. Meadowhawk. And Bugaboo. Now I don't remember if Meadowhawk is Dragonfly. What's a Meadowhawk? And here is the second set of swatches. Second go, I guess, of the swatches. I'm really, really liking that middle finger. Oh boy. And the mattes are beautiful. Just beautiful overall. And now I'm going to wipe the fingers and we go to the last column overall. This is it, the last three shadows, and then we get to talk about the colors. And this color I'm so excited about. I love Lounge from Urban Decay, and so I know I'm going to love Scarab. So there's Scarab, Love Bug, which is a great name for this shadow, and Spider with a Y down here. Okay, let's see what these look like. And Scarab, I know I'm going to love, and then when I heard Teresa is Dead talk about this color, I knew I would love it probably even more than oh, look at that. Even more than I initially thought. That is liquid metal. Look at that. Wow. Okay, Love Bug. And then Spider. And I heard there is quite a bit of product in the pans. I did look at Jen Love's reviews. I think she said there are 2 grams in each pan. I'll have to take a look. Okay, that is a more fiery rust than I was expecting as a base. That's interesting. Okay, and then we have Love Bug, L-U-V, Love Bug. And I love that kind of a dusty rose. I think it's very pretty. And then Spider with a Y. Okay, that is a nice color. It looks like a brown in the pan. It is somewhat brown, but I think it's going to act like a black. Okay, so let's go in one more time. I love that Scarab color, I really do. Wow. Love Bug. And Spider. And Spider is ultra smooth. I mean, they're all really smooth mattes, but that one takes the cake. Wow. I cannot get over that finger. I can't wait to see what that looks like on the lid. You know there's going to be a video on this sooner than later, right? Wow. And that Love Bug builds up really, really nicely. That's so nice. And finally, last but not least, Spider. And I think I'm going to build up Spider one last time. It looks quite a bit different from the first time. And I think that 3 is going to be the charm. So here is Spider again. I just want to see it one more time. It does look like it builds okay. And here are the fingers. Love Bug is really, really a pretty soft, dusty rose. Very, very nice. Okay, I'm going to wipe my fingers before I get fingerprints all over the place, very colorful fingerprints all over the place. And we are going to superimpose the 2 arms and take a look. Okay, there's a lot to take in here, so let's just take a look for a sec. Which colors are the most striking to me? I'm going to put the palette in a way that I can see. Okay, well, some of them I really enjoy, and I knew I would. Okay, so definitely Fire Butts right here, and Mantis I knew that I would like. This one, which is Jewel Bee, I will have to see what it's like on the eye. I did see a few looks from people with using this one, and it did look good in an eye look. But the way it's swatching is a little weird. So I'm on the fence on this one. These 2, you heard me talk about the fact that I thought that they were quite nice. I do have similar shadows to those 2 in my collection, and so I don't find them to be super, super unique in any way. And of course, these 2, same thing. I don't think those are all that unique in any way. But these I'm really, really intrigued by, and I hope that this one outperforms what my expectation is of this color, because right now it's pretty low. But like I said, I saw some looks with that color that looked really good. And then on this arm, this one is very striking as a dusty rose. Scarab, as I said, I am expecting a lot from this one. And this one, which was Bugaboo, I think is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I have high expectations from this one, but I always do. I like that combo, and I do hope that it will perform as well as I'm hoping. The ease of application of these 3 was really nice, and Scarab and this one as well. So the shimmer or shimmer metallics from Sydney Grace so far, I'm very impressed. They are very, very smooth. The colors that I am dying to try right away are the colors that really surprised me. So this one, again, Fire Butts, really surprised me in a good way. I like this combo for sure. There's not much in here that I would say that I really don't want to try. Question mark on this one, I've said it twice already, so you know that. And these 2 on the end here, I'm going to say, meh, whatever. Not excited about them. But for a palette of 15 shades, to have just a couple of colors that I'm kind of going, well, whatever, I don't think is that big of a deal. So yeah. I'm happy with the swatches. I am looking forward to playing around with the color story. It is very unique. It is a color story I have not seen before, and that's a nice change, because sometimes I just feel like the same colors show up over and over and over again. And I mean, there are only so many colors available for eyeshadow. I guess there are thousands and thousands, yes, but you're going to have some that are very, very close and whatnot. But this mixture of colors, it does lead me to believe that it was quite curated, because it's not too much of any one type or too much of any one color. And the matte to shimmer ratio is not bad at all. Got 5, 6 shimmer metallics. Yeah, pretty happy. And I'm happy about this one as a color to be able to deepen other shadows in the palette. So that's good. And it was quite buildable, and it's not as intimidating as a very deep matte black that I think a lot of folks are worried about. This one would deepen up a look, but it would be harder to make it look like a black mess because you would have to keep going back into the pen and adding, as opposed to a black that is extremely pigmented where you pick up a little bit and then you worry about having messed up a look, right? So yeah. I think I have commented enough on these swatches. Let me know what you think of the palette. Did you pick it up? Are you considering picking it up? I would be really curious to hear. What I understand now is that they are doing a pre-order. They have a sale going on this palette. Not a sale going on, but they are offering this palette as a pre-order for, I think, delivery toward the end of September. So just curious if you were aware of that, and also curious if you have ordered or you intend to order. Kind of curious about that. I will have the price of the palette on the screen. I don't remember it off the top of my head. For me, it's in Canadian. That's how it gets converted. So I cannot remember what it was in US. So that is it from me. I do look forward to hearing what you have to say, what your intentions are, whether you have the palette, what do you think of it, good, bad, and ugly. I would love to hear. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.